Okay, today we're going to talk about a couple of the other rules of derivatives. It's going to be called the product rule and the quotient rule. So we're going to share a screen. These are the notes that we go over in class. Okay. The way I read this says the derivative of this uv with respect to x. So what we're looking at is u and v are going to be two functions with respect to the variable x. And we're going to find out that the notation for that is going to be, we're going to take the first one, the first function as it is u, times the derivative of the second one, plus the derivative of the first one times the second. So I like to say 1 prime 2 plus 1 prime 2 plus the prime of 1 times 2. So in other words, the way we take the derivative is we're going to take the first function times the derivative of the second function plus the derivative of the first times the second. So in other words, let me kind of show you the way this works. The way that I had you do this derivative initially, it would have to be by the power rule. So what I said is what we needed to do is we needed to distribute first. So we do x cubed times x plus 8. And what happens is we distribute in and we get f of x equals x to the fourth plus 8x to the third. And then we're going to use the power rule. So the power rule is 4x cubed plus 24x squared. So again, you take that number up front, that exponent, bring it up front, drop the exponent by 1. So that's how we use the power rule. But what I'm going to show you is we can actually do this using the product rule, and it goes a little bit quicker. So f of x equals x cubed times x plus 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my first function is x cubed. My second function v is x plus 8. And I'm going to take the derivative of the first, so u prime equals 3x squared. V prime is going to be just 1 because the derivative of x is 1, derivative of the constant is 0. So if I want to do f prime of x, I do u v prime plus u prime v. That's the formula to know. So substituting in, it's x cubed times v prime, which is 1, plus u prime, which is 3x squared, times x plus 8. And then if I wanted to go ahead and simplify that, that would be x cubed plus, if I distribute, 3x cubed plus 24x squared. And that's going to give me x cubed plus 3x cubed is going to give me 4x cubed plus 24x squared. And notice I got the same answer, but I use what's called the product rule. So product rule oftentimes gives you a quick way to do it. Sometimes easier, sometimes not, but it's a tool that's at your disposal, so you don't have to do that f of x plus h thing. So if I wanted to find the derivative of this, again, u is going to equal x squared, so u prime is going to equal 2x. V is going to equal e to the x, so v prime, the derivative of the exponential, is still the exponential. So to find the derivative of this, remember it's u v prime plus u prime v. Plugging in the numbers, u is x squared, v prime is e to the x, plus u prime is 2x, v is e to the x. And there's our derivative, the derivative of that function. It's a product rule. So again, I'm just going to keep powering through the examples so that we have them. So u is going to equal 2x to the negative 2 plus 4x minus pi. So u prime is going to be negative 4x to the negative 3 plus 4, because pi is a constant, the derivative of a constant 0. V equals 3x plus e. So v prime is going to be the derivative of 3x is 3, derivative of a constant e. So when I want to figure out y prime, it's going to be u v prime plus u prime v. So we just have this formula. Plug in the values that I just figured out. So u is 2x to the negative 2 plus 4x minus pi times v prime, which is 3, plus u prime, which is negative 4x to the negative 3. Negative 4x to the negative 3 plus 4 times v, which is 3x plus e. And I'm going to tell you that's the answer. We don't need to go any further than that. We don't need to do any FOIL. Don't need to do anything like that. Just leave it the way it is. Okay. So now let's go ahead and work it where we're actually trying to find a value at the point. So again, u is going to equal the square root of x, which is equal to x to the 1/2. So u prime is going to be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 using the power rule. V is equal to 3x squared minus 3. So v prime is going to be equal to 6x using the power rule. So then f prime of x is u v prime plus u prime v. So that's going to be u, which is the square root of x, times v prime, which is 6x, plus u prime, 1/2, x to the negative 1/2, times v, and v is 3x squared minus 3. So that's our f prime of x. So if I'm trying to find f prime of 4, I'm going to substitute in 4 for x. So the square root of 4, 6 times 4, plus 1/2, 4 to the negative 1/2, times 3 times 4 squared minus 3. And just so you know, bring it down, make sure you see it all. That would be your answer. I mean, you could simplify it if you wanted to. I mean, the way we would look at it is, but that's as simple as it gets. In a multiple choice world, I need to take it a little further. So f prime of 4 would equal the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 times 24 plus 1/2. 4 to the 1/2 is actually 1/2 because what, just so you know, 4 to the negative 1/2 means I'm doing 1 over 4 to the 1/2, which means I'm doing 1 over the square root of 4, which means I'm doing 1 over 2. So that guy is actually 1/2 times 1/2. And then if I wanted to simplify that, we got 4 squared 16, 3 times 16 is 48, 48 minus 3 is 45. So this becomes 48 plus 45 fourths. And I could go to the calculator myself, but that's the idea. But realistically, that should be enough. Okay. Again, I'm going to do the same thing for the product rule. I'm just going to, it's the u here is x squared. So that means du is 2x. Excuse me. V is going to be sine x. V prime, du, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. U prime is going to equal 2x. V prime is going to equal cosine x. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Don't worry about it. So x squared, 2x, sine x, and cosine x. So now we're going to say that f prime of x is going to equal u v prime plus u prime v. So it's going to equal u, which is x squared, cosine x, because that's v prime, plus u prime 2x, v, which is sine x. And that's our derivative. So derivative, make it a little clearer. F prime of pi over 2. You got to know your unit circle. That's going to be pi over 2 squared cosine of pi over 2 plus 2 times pi over 2 sine pi over 2. And this is going to be one of these cases where can't stop there. I can actually leave this piece and technically that piece, but I got to simplify the cosine stuff because that's technically a function call. So if you remember pi over 2 is going to be on the unit circle. So this is 0. So pi over 2 is going to be here. So if you think about it, the coordinates of that point are 0, 1. So that tells me that the cosine is 0 and the sine is 1 at that point. So this is going to be equal to, if I wanted to simplify it, that's going to be pi squared over 4 times cosine of pi over 2. Cosine is 0, so times 0, plus 2 times pi over 2 is pi, times sine pi over 2, which is 1. So realistically, if I wanted to simplify this guy even further, and realistically, that would be enough. You could leave it like that, but if I simplified it even further, anything times 0 is 0, plus pi, this guy's answer is pi. Okay. So that is going to be our product rule. So I'll do another video that'll be for the quotient rule so that they're not too long. But this is the practice you'll do on the product rule.